Welcome to Daily Politics with
Matt Volts,
Angelo Pasquino,
and Daniel.
Today we're going to be talking about John Edwards.
First, let's take a look at his polls and the standings. Go.
as you can see in our poll, Senator Edwards is currently in third place behind Senators Obama and Senator Clinton. Now, here's Daniel with some background information.
As a young boy, his mother and father were humble roadside workers. They owned an antique stand. He attended Clemson University as a young man. At age 16, his son Wade was killed in a violent car accident when his Jeep was overturned on a South Carolina highway. In 2004, his wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, which leads him and her to become activists for women's rights and women's support.
Here we have a clip of John Edwards and his views on President Bush in the Iraq War.
This week, as we will forever, we remember those lost on September 11th. And this week, Washington refocuses on Iraq. But the question of Iraq is separate from September 11th, as it always has been, whatever George Bush would have us believe. Likewise, supporting our troops and pursuing a failed war are not the same things, whatever George Bush would have us believe. All Americans honor the incredible sacrifice of our troops. They've done everything asked of them with courage and resolve. Now, we should bring them home.
Good, I'll be right there.
Edwards has a plan to bring our troops home from Iraq. The first month, he plans to bring home 40,000 to 50,000 troops. Later on in that clip, Edwards describes how Bush's only strategy is more time and more troops. He also says how our troops are stuck between a president without a plan and a Congress that does not have the courage to bring our troops home. Now we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll see you after these messages.
Will we make America the country of the 21st century? That depends on all of us. It's not that we don't know what needs to be done to lift families out of poverty, to strengthen the middle class in this country. We know what needs to be done. To strengthen America is not just in the Oval Office. To strengthen America is in this room right now. It's the American people, and it's time for the President of the United States to ask Americans to be patriotic about something other than war.
I'm John Edwards, and I approve this message.
We would like to welcome you back from our commercial break, and now we're going to show you a short clip on John Edwards' view on global warming.
We have a crisis on this planet, and that crisis is global warming. And America has got to show that we can be an example for good, not an example for bad. We're 4% of the world's population, emitting 25% of the world's greenhouse gases. We're a terrible example. We're the worst polluter on the planet. China's catching us, but they're still behind. So the question is, what do we do, and what are the consequences of American leadership on this issue? Here's what I think we ought to do. I think we ought to cap greenhouse emissions in the United States of America. I think we ought to ratchet that cap down every single year. I think we ought to reduce greenhouse emissions by at least 80% by the year 2050. I think below the cap,
As mentioned in the clip, Edwards would like to reduce the number of greenhouse emissions each year. This is a very good idea, but it is going to be very hard to control all of the gases we emit into the atmosphere. Edwards should consider funding science and technology to discover more efficient ways of energy, like hydroelectric power, solar power, and alternate fuels.
We're going to talk about John Edwards and his haircuts.
I feel pretty, oh so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and bright, and I pity any girl with me tonight.
Sorry. The Democrats campaign committee picked up the tab for 2 of John Edwards' haircuts, costing about $400 each. Former politicians such as Bill Clinton have done the same, and they've also been made fun of for that. That clip you just saw on YouTube was posted to make fun of John Edwards for his very lavish spending on haircuts. Edwards then posted a series of clips on YouTube to defend himself. Here's one of them.
Give me a head with hair, long, beautiful hair, shining, gleaming, steaming, flaxen, waxen. Give me down the there, hair, shoulder length or longer. Here, baby, there, mama, everywhere, daddy, daddy, hair. Blow it, show it, long as God can dry my hair.
What matters more, an expensive haircut or issues that concern our country? Or is our country messed up with our priorities? You choose. This is
Angelo Pasquini.
Matt Volz and Danielle saying goodbye from Daily Politics, and we will catch you next time.